Tate DePoo. I'm the Scenic and projection designer.
And I'm Cory Pattak. I'm the lighting designer.
I knew that Marc Bruni was a part of it, and Chun-Soo Shin had mentioned to me years ago when I was in Seoul, Korea, that he wanted to produce it at some point, and then I essentially asked to do it.
And we went to a reading of it last August, just as like friends and colleagues of Marc's, and it was amazing. And I think we both walked out of it and were like, we have to do this. If this ever happens for real, we have to do this. And you know, like 14 months later, here we are. We lucked out. For many, many, many years. Yes.
Happily, evidently.
Yes.
We're like brothers.
11 years and probably at least 3 or 4 shows a year. Many, many shows.
I am. So all the physical scenery on stage is one half the brain, and all the video to fill the other half of the non-scenery, the non-physical elements is the other half of the brain. So it's a full brain.
I mean, absolutely. I mean, for starters, like video is light. It's
Right.
made of light. Whether it's a pixel on a screen or a front projector, it's all light. So we have to think about it like light, the same way we think about lighting. And so we have the same conversations about video that we have about light, about brightness, about color, about contrast. But Paul's been doing video now for a couple of years, and we've done a bunch of shows together where he's done both and I've done the lighting. And we've gotten very good at sort of following each other. Some scenes, he has a really strong idea, so he'll put something up and I'll pull the colors and the angle and the mood out of that. And other times I'll light a scene and then he'll see what I'm doing and then he'll make his colors match mine. But usually by the end of the day, the goal is that you can't really tell the difference, and the lighting world blends onto the video world blends into the lighting. It feels seamless.
Pretty dorky and high-five each other a lot, when we finally feel like we've created the illusion.
When something, I mean, the thing is, like I said, we've been working on this for, you know, a year, almost a year. Like some of these moments that we've been talking about in the abstract almost the entire year. And so you can only talk about things for so long. So to finally visualize and create the thing in front of you that we've been planning for months and months and months, when it works, it's really exciting.
When you asked to do Gatsby, there's such a heavy hand. Let's start with the title and expectations of design, and you know, a new musical. You know, the novel has been written, and you know where we're going to go, but you just don't know the order of how everything's going to go. So we actually figured out the pieces of how things went from one to the other, and then started focusing on aesthetic. And it was actually looking at lines that were before 1922, where it was a bit more, let's say, industrial with an Art Nouveau approach, but it's not such a, you know, triangles and all these things that I think we instantly associate with Gatsby or Deco era. And it's actually not heavy-handed in that, where it's a little bit more gothic. And I kept telling myself, what would Alexander McQueen do if he was the architect? So.
And I think one thing we kept reminding ourselves is like, everybody thinks they know what the Great Gatsby looks like, whether they've seen a movie or whether what they imagined when they read a book. Everyone sees a version of Great Gatsby in their mind. And when they come here, they have an expectation of what they think it's going to be. And obviously we can't control that. But it was one thing that we had to think about a lot, which was like to not fall prey to what we think people want or what's been done in the past, and really try to approach it fresh and brand new with the material, with the music, with the period, and try to create something that feels original. Just Gatsby is like a designer's dream. Obviously, it's about opulence, it's about excess, which for a designer is just fun. It's fun, and I'm not a particularly subtle designer. I'm not sure Paul would call himself super subtle. And so, like, we like big, strong gestures and big ideas. So the Great Gatsby was a perfect vehicle for our approach. But like, for me, the music, like, I heard this music and it just knocked my socks off. If I wasn't working on the show, I would be ripping the songs off YouTube like everybody else is. Like, the music for this is unbelievable, and
it drives this design.
And so, like, for me, like, so much of my work has come out of the music, and the music is so exciting, and it's lush, and it's romantic, and it's like everything you want from it. And so, from a lighting standpoint, like, I'm just like trying to move along with the music, tell the story, but also just like support the music that Jason has written along with Nathan. It's just incredible.
And once we heard the demos, it told us how to design the show and how it moves. It moves 55 times or sheets of how it all integrates and moves backstage and on stage, and that happens 55 times. So to hear the music, and as it's all driving, tons and tons of scenery are moving on the deck or flying in. It's been our driving force for the whole thing.
And also, yeah, the music is it is very contemporary sounding. I mean, there definitely has sort of like a jazz flair to it, and there are certain songs that sound a little more period, but it sounds like a contemporary pop musical. And for me, that worked well with my aesthetic because that's where I go to naturally with lighting. And so when you say like what should people expect, like it's not like the book you read in English class. Like it is slick, it is sexy, it moves really well.
It's a mix of contemporary and respecting history and what was historically accurate, but edging it up so that it felt fresh. And it's an aesthetic that I wouldn't be able to really define right now.